What's going on, folks? Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Mexican Independence Day. Is that what Cinco de Mayo is? I'm not even sure. But here we go. This is best of 5 series. Our competitors rocking the green and the red in honor of this day. And it's going to be a VVP between the green Zerg player, Yellow Jello, and his opponent in the top right. In the red, it is Timbo Slice, who is Protoss, by the way. So, Timbo playing his off-race Protoss. Yellow Jello playing his main race Zerg. But I think the last time these two played this matchup, if I'm not mistaken, Timbo actually came out on top. We do know he's been practicing a bit. Just before this match, he did play a few games. They were mostly, I think, PvT and PvP, so didn't get to practice this matchup, but he did warm up a little bit. Yellow Jello hasn't been practicing today, at least. So we'll see what these guys have in store for us. I do give Timbo a slight edge just based on the past matchup. Looks like we're going to be having a fast expansion out of Yellow Jello. Sometimes he goes for a pool first in this matchup. And I don't like that, but this time it looks like he went for a normal hatch gas pool. Pool should finish at about exactly the same time as that hatchery. So there's the pool, there's the hatch. And this is one of the new maps. All these maps going to be new. Relatively new. I mean, it's been like a month or two. And they're kind of weird. Like, we can see this one. It's a half gold, half regular minerals. But only 6 mineral patches, so it is a safe base to take. Like, you can just take it in your main base pretty much. But reduced mineral patches, as we can see, the normal ones has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one only 6. So you will have to take the outside third sooner rather than later. Timbo doing the same thing. He's gotten that expansion as well. So as the Zerg player, you don't really want to be on even bases for too long. You kind of want to be one up usually. So we keep an eye out on when Yellow Jello gets that base. Tooling's going to be doing a little scouting, and I don't know what that little movement was. He kind of went in, went out, went back in. But at the end of the day, he did scout pretty much everything here, so good enough, I suppose. And it's just going to be a robo out of Timbo Slice. That's kind of his usual plan. He gets that observer, gets that scouting. Behind this, going to be getting a Twilight Council for charge. And that is usually kind of the order you want to get those upgrades. Charge is usually the better one to go for first, over Blink, over the Adept Glaives. And behind this, going to be going for an Immortal out of that Robo. Immortal's obviously going to be very good if Roaches show up, which it looks like they will be. Yellow Jello teching up very heavily right now. Baling Nest, Roach Warren, as well as an Evolution Chamber, Layer as well. And what, I mean, that's just that weird Yellow Jello rallying. We saw drones going from here to here, drones going from here to here. Like, I don't know what this guy does, but anyways, third base has completed. No drones there just yet. Timbo getting his as well. This observer getting a full scout out, sees no drones here, so he should have a pretty decent idea of where he stands economically. And that is fairly even. 39 to 36 workers. Probably not what you want exactly as a Zerg right now. You kind of want to be powering ahead. These Zerglings, I'm not sure what they are for. That's like, what, 5 drones that were not made, and they're not doing anything. So I'm going to be morphing a few Banelings right now. I don't know why. Should be like harassing if you got these. We do have an Overlord over here. Could potentially scout, but that's kind of the only Overlord out on the map here for Yellow Jello. His Overlord positioning not very good. As we see, he doesn't have any idea of this base over here. He hasn't even confirmed this, but I suppose he could safely assume that. And yeah, he has no idea if and when Timbo decides to move out. We do have these watchtowers guarded by the rocks over here. And in the past, Yellow Jello has enjoyed breaking down rocks, so I'm not sure why he hasn't been more active with his units. Break down the rocks, take down the towers, maybe put like a ling outside the base. You really need that information. But it looks like Yellow Jello, he's been focusing a lot on the army for the past minute or two. As we see 8 more roaches in production on top of the already pretty beefy army that he's got right now. 54 army to 43. Gonna be favoring the Zerg player a bit, 62 to 51 now, as he does move out into the middle of the map. Let's see what he's gonna accomplish with that. I'm not sure about this timing. It seems very weird. We got the layer. He has +1 is quite a long way from finishing. He does have roach speed, so that's something. But yeah, he pokes in. That's a little bit too many immortals to really contend with. So Yellow Jello just backs all the way up. Morphs a ton of Banelings right now. And remember, this Observer is just spotting everything. So valuable right now. And 49 drones to 43 probes, not the best worker count for the Zerg player. Timbo is establishing his 3rd base. 3rd of Yellow Jello, not fully saturated just yet. This half base is starting to get mined out. We do see that one of those patches has mined out. So the eco is a bit lacking, I would say, for Yellow Jello. 51 workers to the 46. But he's been focusing a lot on tech, getting these upgrades. He's got the lair, he's getting Hydras as well. So Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager, Hydra. I feel like he's kind of maybe doing too much. I don't really like roaches against this many immortals. But Yellow Jello does have a pretty sizable supply lead. 151 to 128. He's got more workers, he's got more army. But his army's not that good. That's the only thing I'm scared of. These immortals, a bit scary. However, the creep spread is pretty good, I would say. Gotta commend Yellow Jello, give credit where credit is due. I mean, it's already reaching half the map. He's got so much vision of the army movement, and I don't know if you really want to take the fight. There's no reason to fight right now. You're not protecting anything other than creep. But let's see how it goes. Yellow Jello is going for it. Baneling's gonna crash into most of the Zealots, and that is an excellent fight. You could not have asked for a better fight. GG gets called right away, and Yellow Jello gonna claim game number 1. So welcome back to this game number 2 in this PvZ series. And it looks like we are changing up the colors, so it's a little bit confusing. But this is going to be the blue Zerg in the bottom right. Yellow Jello. Going up against the red Protoss in the top left. Thimbo Slice. It's a pretty swift and decisive ending to game number 1. Not a whole lot happening. There were no like skirmishes, no harassment, just one big fight just ended the game. I wasn't sure it was gonna get the job done. The Immortals were a little bit scary, but good job by Yellow Jello. Baneling connections were good, and yeah, that was all she wrote. A swift ending, like I said. Game number 2, Yellow Jello once again going for the hatchery first. Looks like he has been changing his strategy in these matchups. Before, he was very much a pool first guy, and I am glad that he has changed from that, especially given his opponent. Timbo going for the low ground pylon gateway. Gonna be getting his Nexus before Cybercore. He'll be getting the Cybercore shortly. And so, pretty standard early game. Not too much deviation from standard openings for both players. In fact, no real deviation whatsoever. Ling speed going to be starting on up. 2 Zerglings in production. I expect those to run across the map for some scouting. And this is Site Delta, one of the more standard maps in the current map pool. We don't have any like crazy half gold bases. No gold bases at all, in fact. 2 potential third bases. We've got the triangle, we've got the line. Looks like Yellow Jello going to be going for the triangle placement. No scout with the Lings, in fact, just going to be working on these unbuildable rocks. Going to take those out. Not the most important thing to do, but I guess it's something. Would have preferred the scout, to be honest, and I don't know what this Overlord was doing. It had a good spot over here, but gonna be relocating, and I don't think this Stalker will be able to get it. So yeah, I don't know what motivated Yellow Jello to do that. Maybe he anticipates that Timbo will get an observer before long. But I like the spot more. It provides vision for Timbo, for Yellow Jello rather, of Timbo's ramp. And that would have been nice to have, to just kind of see what he has at the front if and when he moves out. This location, I don't really know. Observer making its way across the map. And Yellow Jello going to be going for a Baneling nest. No Roach Warren this time around, at least not yet. Second gas coming down. That's actually going to be the third gas. So he does have one in the natural. Worker count, once again, very even for both players. And there is that Roach Warren now. Yellow Jello making a lot of stuff all at once. Baneling Nest, double Evolution Chamber, Roach Warren. And here comes that Observer. He should be able to spot everything. And back at home for the Protoss player. Starting his Immortal production. Overlord did float on in, so Spots the Robo, spots the Twilight. It does go down, but spotted what it needed to see. Aside from this robotics bay that just goes down now, so Colossus perhaps, Disruptors perhaps. We'll see what Timbo decides to go for. Yellow Jello getting every research pretty much. Both attack upgrades. That's the correct thing to do usually against Protoss, because Protoss attack is so strong that armor doesn't really help too much. And looks like Yellow Jello kind of gearing up for a strong timing. Maybe when those upgrades finish, he's getting a lot of roaches, a lot of lings, banelings. And if he hits when all these upgrades finish, that's some very powerful timing. Observer does go down with the help of this Overseer providing vision. And Yellow Jello with a sizable lead in all departments right now. It is going to be double disruptor production out of the Protoss player. Blink on the way. Charge already completed. But that's Timbo's only upgrade. +1 attack should be finishing up shortly, but look at the upgrades tab. Yellow Jello has so much going for him right now. But +1 for Protoss did finish up. Blink gonna be shortly behind. Here comes Yellow Jello. And oh, this is a little bit scary. I'm not sure if Timbo has enough right now. But Yellow Jello backing off, maybe respecting that a little too much. I would like to see Timbo put down some defensive structures, namely shield batteries to help his army. And Yellow Jello looks like he might want to go in once again. Timbo does not have very good vision. Some lings going for the surround perhaps, or maybe just a run by. Yes, he runs into the natural. That is massive. And at the same time, maybe go for an attack. Okay, now he goes. Army of Timbo pulling back, and now for the two-pronged attack from Yellow Jello. Some very good strategic maneuvers here from the Zerg player, and takes out the third base. The Protoss base is in absolute shambles. The main base goes down. GG gets called, and Yellow Jello taking game number 2. Welcome back, folks. This is game number 3, potentially the last game in this series. If this man here in the top right, spawning in the blue, can pull out another victory, it's Yellow Jello. And in the bottom right, bottom left, his opponent in the red, gonna need to come back. It's Timbo Slice. So Yellow Jello, he's been on a bit of a warpath this series. 2 very decisive games. That game number 2, the run by with the lings, and then the double-pronged attack. Pretty spicy. Game number 3, gonna be going back to his roots with the pool first. Now, I don't like this build, but perhaps Yellow Jello has other plans. Maybe he anticipates like something cheesy from Timbo. I'm not sure what motivated him to do this, but not a great build. But he is going to have, I guess, quicker queens, and that's about it. He does throw down the hatchery. This Overlord checking for pylons, but I'm not sure Timbo even knows how to proxy pylon. So, yeah. Timbo a little bit scared himself seeing that pool first. So he is going for double gateway cybernetics core here, leaving a little gap for the zealot. Now hopefully this is a full wall. Sometimes Timbo doesn't do the best there. Now I don't know, this looks a little suspect, but I'm gonna trust the process here. And yeah, we can see how scared Timbo is. He doesn't have his Nexus down yet. We know he loves to fast expand. So this build from Yellow Jello already doing some indirect damage. Timbo also getting 2 more zealots behind this. Chrono boosting the warp gate. You don't usually need to do that. This Nexus does finally get dropped, but very late. 3rd gateway as well. So yeah, Timbo a little bit scared in this game number 3, it looks like. Getting more army units than he usually ever has at this point. Well, we often see him get like just 1 unit, and that's kind of his only army unit until he gets his robo. So we'll see if he decides to maybe go for some kind of push with these units. Yellow Jello, he's just droning up right now. 32 drones, gonna be getting his 3rd as well. I heard those lings working on... Oh, this rocks over here. The Yellow Jello loves to work on the rocks. I don't even know why you want this to go down. Anyways, 1 zealot coming on out for a scout. Oh, could have gotten at least one of those Zerglings, I think. This is kind of a expensive scout and don't really see a whole lot. Not sure if he saw that layer morphing in. He did, so okay, that was not too bad, but doesn't get to see any of the tech structures behind here. Baling Nest, Evolution Chamber, Roach Warren. And I don't think he saw that 3rd either. So Timbo still doesn't have all the information. He is moving out now, but Yellow Jello, if he was paying attention to his minimap, should have spotted that. Starts up 12 drones, or should I say 12 Zerglings, rather. Make that 20. And 3 spine crawlers. Now, he can afford this. He's got a bit of a worker lead. He does have to respect this push out from Timbo Slice. We do have some Banelings on the field. Can they get the connections onto the Zealots? Not quite. First one goes down. Second one does get an okay hit. And it looks like, yeah, should be a full cleanup here pretty easily. The spine crawlers weren't needed at all. And GG gets called. It is indeed a shutout.